Good morning, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I am going to apologize in advance. I do kind of have a raspy voice this morning, so apologize for any communication issues on my part, but I hope you all are doing well. Let's take a look at Bitcoin for the day. All right, so we're getting a nice follow through to the upside, guys. I mean, we opened up our week right around 62,880. So again, basically right where that support line is, that we've been kind of targeting. We're going to also identify Monday midnight open. So I'm going to actually remove the 62,880 for right now, since we do have the weekly open right there. But we got a nice trade down, and then we basically, started to really expand upwards, right? We're getting into the 64,000 range again, exactly what I want to see. The only problem now is the fact that we're doing this on Sunday's open, Monday's candle, right? Not the best look when it comes to a potentially bullish week. That being said, this could be our low for the week right here, right down at 62,728, but it might not be the case, okay? Let me take a look at the 8-hour here, the 10-hour. All right, so we're getting that move above the 50 MA, the 21 MA. We're getting back above the 200. I mean, it's looking great on the 10-hour. The 8-hour, we're also above the 200 as well. So everything is looking fantastic. We need to use 63,940 as our support line, so look for that to happen. But I'm first going to be targeting this double top right here, right around 64,437 as kind of a first target. We'll kind of mark that out. That's going to be my first area where there could be a potential first take profit. If we are able to get above this line right here and hold it as support, we can basically get back above potentially get back above 65,000 as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see kind of where price action goes for the day. Taking a look at the 6-hour, again, getting back above the 200. Wonderful sign. So your higher meso time frames are looking fantastic. The 4-hour, you got that 21 curving into price action. You got the 50 also kind of going to start slowly curving up. So everything looking great, guys. You're getting above the 2-hour 200 MA. You're getting above the 1-hour 200 MA, getting that golden cross imminent there. So everything looking fantastic. Now, that being said, there's a potential that Monday or Tuesday is going to be our high for the week, right? It doesn't mean that we're going to continue our move upward. We definitely can, especially there is a lot of liquidity and there is an ability for us to keep moving upward. But it's really going to depend on how these next few days kind of evolve, especially come Wednesday, right? Taking a look at your 5-minute, you just keep bull flagging and you just keep pumping up. So everything's looking great. Let's mark out our Monday midnight open, now that we are in some of these smaller time frames here. Let's see where that's at. So Monday midnight open, and I'm actually going to probably get rid of this order block. We've done enough in here, I would say. But let's take a look at the Monday midnight open. So I would say our close at 63,479. So right about there is going to be your Monday midnight open, and that's going to be important to stay above for the time being. We'll mark it as blue. But basically, keep an eye on that line. That's going to be a very important line for us to keep, because if we can't keep that, there's a potential that we drop down back to the weekly open down here at 62,880. All right, so as far as levels go, guys, let me get rid of some of this here. I'm going to say that we need to obviously hold 63,940. That's going to be something to watch sooner rather than later. To the downside, you're going to look at 63,940. You're going to look at 63,600 and 63,479. These are all going to be areas that you want to hold. And then to the upside, 64,437, 64,918, and then 64,962. Those are all other areas to the upside to kind of look out for right now. That being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a real quick look at liquidity to kind of see where that's at here. So let me refresh this. All right, so taking a look at liquidity, we got that nice basically drop into this pull down here. We had a nice 786 retracement. I did post that in the Sin City crypto group, and we are getting that expansive move up now to start taking out some of this upper liquidity potentially. You know, this is a really good bullish sign for right now. Again, we are getting towards slowly the end of August. We're kind of in the middle of August right now. This week could definitely be bullish. We want to see us closing back above the weekly 200 MA, which we are now above it, I believe. So it's going to be important for us to hold 63,900 area. Okay. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So the 1 hour. All right, so the 1 hour we have enough liquidity, honestly, guys, to get us up even to 65,737. I definitely think that this is, a very bullish sign. I mean, we have this golden cross imminent, definitely alluding to the fact that we can keep getting that move upward, right? So 1 hour looking fantastic. Target for right now is going to be 64,500-ish area first, and then if we can get above there and consolidate, you're looking at 65,737, somewhere in here. 15-minute, same thing, right? We have a little bit of liquidity down here that we can drop into, do a some sort of 786 retracement if it wanted to, but then bounce back up. So just know that there are some support levels we want to definitely hold for now. Obviously here on open market on our order book, we do have a lot more orders to the upside that are close by. So it is alluding to the fact that we can definitely get that move into the 65K range if it wanted to, right? 65K even might be a point of resistance. You can see there's a couple orders right back to back there. So just watch that potentially if we were to get up here. But so far, at the beginning of this week, it's looking bullish. Not the best sign as far as a timing perspective goes for the weekly candle, because obviously we know if we trade up at the beginning of the week, there's a potential that we will still potentially close in a bearish week. But again, it's a positive note, right? It's a positive note that we are trading up for right now. All right, that being said, guys, let's take a real quick look at the simple map, see where we are in that range here. Honestly, for support levels to the downside, you're looking first at 63,300. You get past there, you'd be looking at about 63,090 to about 63,200 to hold. And if you lose that, you get to about 62,640 potentially. So that's kind of how that liquidity would roll through if we were to get the move to the downside. And then to the upside, we're obviously taking out some of this liquidity. You're going to need to get above 64,290. You're able to do that. You can kind of continue your move up all the way to about 64,530. And then if you can get above 64,530, you can just kind of roll through all this liquidity, even all the way up to about 65,500. So definitely a lot of liquidity that can get taken out to the upside if it wanted to. It all depends on how those resistance levels act to the upside. When it comes to your swing time frames, you're basically looking at the same thing, nothing different here. You're going to look for 63,300 to be used as your first area of support, followed by 63,090 along with 63,210, kind of within that range. And then obviously 62,640 as your kind of final level of support before you start taking out more liquidity. To the upside, once again, guys, you're looking at 64,300. You get above that, you're able to consolidate, you're looking at about 64,530, and then you can just kind of roll through all the way to about 65,500-ish area. All right, guys, that being said, that's what I have for you for this morning. As usual, if you guys want to use Trading Different and its tools, use my code Sean to get 10% off your order, tradingdifferent.com/code/Sean to get 10% off your order and basically be able to take advantage of all these amazing tools through Trading Different to help you with your trading. All right, guys, that is what I have for you for now. I will be back later on this evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Take care.